The start of autumn begins with the end of summer, and that is where our tale begins. When the bustle of the city threatens my peace, this tucked away garden centre is a sanctuary from the noise. Here I'm collecting some gardening supplies to help turn my own little home into a green haven. I've just got back from the garden centre. It is so warm, it's so warm. We're having a bit of a heat wave at the moment and my Scottish blood does not know how to handle it. I was starting to get excited about autumn, but we're not quite there yet, unfortunately. I decided to just take the time to embrace summer the best I can, even though it's not really my favourite time of the year, and continue my journey into learning to garden. If you've been watching along, you know that I've had a couple of unsuccessful attempts. So I've decided to change tack a little bit. Instead of, you know, planting seeds from scratch and trying to grow herbs and such like, I'm going to try more along the line of propagating and doing cacti and succulents and that sort of thing, especially over autumn and winter. And just with my lifestyle, I think I'd like to try doing something that was a little bit more easy care. I've been making a massive effort to stop being on social media as much and trying to find restful activities that are really nurturing for my soul, activities that are productive and creative but that are also very restful, and I'm finding gardening is really helping with that. It makes me feel calm and productive, and I feel like I'm emulating the life I actually want to live. The other thing I've been doing a lot more is reading. I've noticed that if I have a really good book on the go, then I'm far less likely to binge on social media because I feel more compelled to picking up the book rather than picking up my phone. For now, I hope you enjoy my little home gardening adventure. I believe the allure of a quiet cottage life is tied to nature. A hopeful thing, given that even in the city it's possible to surround oneself with greenery. It takes a little more intention and a lot more work, but that somehow makes it sweeter in the end. Gardening is also a therapeutic activity. The slow and quiet focus required helps lower stress levels, and having skin contact with soil is said to boost serotonin. It tends to be in the springtime and the summertime that we think more about planting things. Personally, I feel as though it's in the winter and the autumn time that I want to have more plants around me. So right now I'm looking out the kitchen window and they're just like vibrant, verdant trees shining with sunlight, and that's what I see when I'm eating my breakfast every morning. In the living room it's the same. I'm just kind of encased with trees all around. In the winter time, however, it can be very sparse. You know, you look out the window and everything looks very dead, and the sky tends to be completely white with clouds and these very sad, bare looking trees. I'm not going to feel as surrounded by life in those months unless I go out to an evergreen forest, which I do hope to do over the winter time. In the meantime though, and in the day-to-day, I want to make the indoors as vibrant and verdant as possible, and I think that easy care succulents and cacti are a really good and hopefully really easy way to go about that. Finally, our dear friend autumn arrived, carrying inspiration on the breeze. Along with the turn of the season came a spark of motivation that fueled me into organisation mode.
It does seem beautiful to you now, and it does seem magical to you now, which it didn't a couple of years ago.
Though we moved into this apartment a few months ago, there are still many little projects that I'd like to complete as we come into the slower months. And given that our environment has such an impact on our mood, refreshing my space for the new season feels like a gift to the soul. As I'm filming this, it's definitely starting to get a wee bit colder, a wee bit rainier here. I'm definitely starting to feel a lot more autumnal. I'm literally just at the moment cooking a lovely rich vegetable stew, and I'm going to bake some scones and start to get into the autumn kind of season, but it just kind of felt appropriate to, I suppose, process the last summer because a lot has happened and it's been so different to the summers before, and it's been a really big adjustment, spending energy on far more adventurous and active pursuits and social pursuits as well than the last couple of years. And I feel as though with this summer it's like everyone's just jumped back into normal mode, but the pandemic still happened. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't feel as though I've caught up with the new energy that is required for things being back to normal. Although of course they're not, because there's still so many knock-on effects. So as the summer whirlwind is dying down, I am embracing the new autumn season. I am still going to be quite busy in some ways, but it will be a different kind of busy, I hope. I have in mind that the kind of busyness will be more sort of inward processing busyness and kind of pottering around getting things done in a quiet, nurturing way, as opposed to the kind of outward focus, socialising and travelling kind of busyness. Welcome autumn. My next big task was to declutter and organise the pantry. I bought a couple of pretty mason jars and organisation bins to help, though I'm going to wait till everything is cleared out before deciding if we need more. These old Victorian flats are notorious for having mice problems, so getting everything as clean as possible before the cold months is essential. As I was clearing the pantry, it made me think about all the good things I want to fill it up with this autumn, which in turn gave me the idea of creating a Scottish seasonal eating video, so do let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in. When life is busy and stressful, I make a special effort to get a wholesome candlelit meal on the table in the evening. The floors may not be mopped and the laundry may be spilling over, but at the very least I have a daily reminder to release the rush of the day and be nourished with good food and warm company. Even though I often put these kinds of tasks off, I do often enjoy it when I get going, or at the very least I'm just relieved to get it over in the end. Okay, so I've just organised the cupboard behind you right now and it is looking 10 times better. It's still not perfect I think we still need a bread bin and maybe a biscuit tin, maybe another mason jar for flour, because we have a lot more baking stuff than I thought, and we'll probably be buying more as well because we really love to bake, especially over the autumn and winter time. But for now, I'm really happy with it. I'm going to go and make dinner now, and then I think if I'm not feeling too tired, I'll probably clear out the fridge after dinner, so I'll show you that in just a wee second. Good morning. So I didn't end up cleaning up the fridge the other day because it got a wee bit late, and Peter and I started watching this really good murder mystery called Dalgish, which we were really enjoying, so I didn't end up doing any more. Today I'm going to clean up the fridge finally, and then I'm probably going to do some decluttering. I'll show you in a second. The study is so chaotic and it really needs sorting out. There's something really special that I want to do with this study, but I can't do it until it's all cleared out and decluttered. But for now, let's go sort out the fridge. So as you can see, there is a lot of stuff that I need to sort through. A lot of really weird stuff, like I've got old broccoli stalks from thinking that I would make vegetable stock, which never happened. So I'm just going to chuck them because I do not think that they're much good anymore. I found that a very good point to clear out the fridge is when it's kind of at that point where you know you need to go for a big shop again. A lot easier to go through stuff when, well, most of it's already been eaten. The next step of this autumnal homemaking project is to do a wee bit of decorating. So as you've already seen, I've cleaned out the fridge, cleaned out the pantry, everything's feeling a lot fresher, which is the first step. Today I really want to just work on my window display in the kitchen. It's the first thing I see in the morning when I come in to make my cup of tea. So I really want to make it super cozy and autumnal. If you've been following my channel for a little while, you'll know that I am a very strong advocate for simple living, and I do love the minimalist kind of aesthetic. Our bedroom is fairly minimal in that sense. But as we come into the cooler months, yes, autumn, outside it is quite vibrant and quite full of colours, but I'm also sort of anticipating the winter kind of season where the leaves are starting to fall and everything's looking quite sparse outside. I really want my home to feel warm and cozy and have a wee bit of colour, so that is what I'm going for today. I started by cleaning, taking down some of my summer decorations and airing the room. I then added some warm colours and a touch of greenery, though I initially did have a hard time creating a configuration I liked. In the end, I went for some simple symmetry, displaying some pretty crockery, lighting some candles and adding natural elements. Thank you so much for joining for my cottagecore autumn homemaking process. I hope that it gave inspiration or at least made you feel cosy. If so, be sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, it was lovely to have you here.